Hello, hello, mic check, one, two, three. So, welcome to day three of our streaming, um, our open source contributions. I hope I am audible. And what we are going to do today is we are going to try and pick up an issue and maybe, try to understand it, need what change, kind of gather what kind of changes are meant to be made and there is still some more setup. So contributing, if you remember one of the documentations that we had read, it had mentions of how to, hmm, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, this is the one, creating a pull request. Okay. Register upstream repo. I don't really understand this completely, so we will ask AI to explain this to us. And so does every commit, for example, okay, let's just get started. Let me take the raw file, copy, deny, maybe a new chat, explain below, assume what screen am I sharing? Okay, I'm sharing the right screen. Assume I don't know anything about Git. So I have a hard stop at 11:40. So that's about an hour from now. So it's going to be a smaller stream compared to our first two streams. But uh, yeah, that's that. I don't have it running locally. So we will run it locally again, build up that muscle memory. I don't have jaeger-ui or the hot rod application and the Docker container, the Jaeger running in a Docker container. So yeah, we will do all those things today. Try to build up our muscle memory, and we will go from there. Uh, Since you're new to Git and GitHub, think of this as a process of as a way of safety suggest. I'm sorry, I'm not able to read. As a way to safely suggest changes to a massive shared project without accidentally breaking the original version. Here is a breakdown of what the document is telling you. Look before you leap. Spend hours coding only to find out they don't want that specific change. Open an issue. This is basically a pitch. You'll tell them what you want to fix. Okay. Wait for them to agree on your plan. Okay. This is that. Which one was it? This one. Or was it this one? Okay. So it's this one. Opening a first issue. So this we don't want to open issue. We want to work on the already existing issues. To officially use your code directly, you have to create your own copy. Okay, we have forked it, we have cloned it. This is a link you create on your computer so your copy knows where the official Jaeger project is. Okay, that is that. This allows you to pull in updates that other people make. Okay, makes sense. The rule of engagement. Write code. There is a strict social and technical rules. Create a branch. Never work on main part of your copy. Instead, create a branch. Okay. Think of it as a side draft, specifically for one fix. If you mess up the draft, the rest of your copy stays. Okay. Signing your work, DCO. This is a legal requirement. Every time you have a chunk of work, a commit, you must use a special command -s signed off by your name. It's a way of saying I wrote this code myself and I'm allowed to give it to Jaeger. Okay, pull request limits. If you are new, sorry, they only let you have one active suggestion PR at a time. Once you prove you write good code and it gets accepted, they let you open more at once. Okay, I don't remember reading this part. Where is this? Creating a pull request. Go to the respective branch, clone, fork. This is the adding the upstream part. Fetch it, repoint your main branch, and repoint. With this setup, you will not need to keep your main branch in the fork. Okay, we are signing it. When satisfied, you do not need to squash the commits. It will happen. Okay. When satisfied, push the changes. Git will likely ask for an upstream destination, so you push commits like this. After you push, look for the output. It usually contains a URL to create a pull request. Each PR, a description, a summary of the changes. Where have they spoken about one PR? I don't know where this got it from. PR limits on def PR. Hmm. Need to squash the commit. This I understood. When satisfied, push the changes. Git will likely ask for upstream destination, so you push commits like this. Git push origin branch name. This is my branch name. Hyphen set upstream. Okay, we submit a change. Once you've written your code and pushed it back up to your GitHub account, you open a pull request. Okay, a pull request is essentially a formal request saying, "Hey, Jaeger team, I finished my draft. Please look at it, and if you like it, put it into the official project." The checklist for a good PR. Starts action with fix login bug. Explain what you changed and why. Copyright. If you made a brand new file, you must paste the copyright C text at the very top. Okay, troubleshooting. Git commit, amend, and git push force. You forgot to sign your work or made a typo. These commands let you go back in time, rewrite your save history, and force your corrected version onto GitHub. Usually force is dangerous, but it's okay to use on your personal branch. Okay. Your first step, since you are starting from scratch, the very first thing you should do is create a GitHub account if you haven't and find the fork. Would you like me to walk you through specific terminal tasks, clone and fork? Okay, I have cloned and forked the I have cloned the forked repo. What do we have to do now? Let's see. I'm assuming we have to do this setting upstream. Explain the upstream commands. Explain the explain all the upstream commands that I have given to you. Mm, Assuming that is the next step that I have to do before making changes in my for making changes, let's say creating slash changes in my feature branch of the fork. Okay, cloned your fork. Your computer currently only knows about one place, your own GitHub account. The upstream commands are about building a bridge between your copy and the official Jaeger repository. This is crucial because while you are working, other people will be adding new code to Jaeger. Ensure your copy doesn't become stale or outdated. Here is the breakdown of the commands you need to run in your terminal. Git remote, git fetch, git branch. Okay, there are only three, but here there were four. Git remote -v. After you clone your forked repo, okay, it's explaining these three. What is git remote -v? register the official repo. Okay, it tells your local folder, hey, there is another version of this project out there. Let's name it upstream. Okay, why origin? Origin is your copy, upstream is the source of truth. Okay, download the latest, fetch upstream main. It goes to the official Jaeger and downloads all the latest changes and history that happened while you were busy setting up. This doesn't change your files, it just updates your computer's address book of what the official code looks like. Okay, sync with your main branch. Okay, what is this doing? This is a shortcut setup. It tells your local main branch to track the official instead of your own fork's main. The Jaeger instructions recommend this so you don't have to manually sync your fork's main branch. It keeps your local repository directly aligned with the official project. Okay, we'll use this chat for all the Git related queries that we have. Hmm, immediately do after these commands. Now that bridge is built, you are ready to start working. Do not write code on the main branch. Create your own feature branch, your workspace for the specific change. Switch to your main branch. Pull the absolute latest code from official source. Create your new branch. Hit checkout -b fix. Would you like me to explain how the sign off works once you're finished? Uh, yes, plain sign off, but before that, you missed the get remote -b command. Before you start adding the upstream link, the Jaeger guide tells you to run. What it does, -v stands for the verbose. It asks Git, show me exactly which online folders I am connected to right now. What you should see, if you just clone your fork, the output will look something like this. Okay. This is the default name Git gives to the place you cloned your. Here's the default name Git gives to the place you cloned from. Okay. After you see this, you run you should see both origin and upstream. The sign off in the open source world, project leaders need to be 100% sure that you have the legal right to share the code you're sending them. This is called developer certificate or origin. Okay. Instead of signing a physical paper, you sign your code digitally using a specific Git flag. When you are ready to save your changes, you type, okay, this is your message. This is the sign off magic. It automatically adds a line to the very bottom of your message that looks like signed off by. If you forget, the TCO bot will leave a comment on your pull request saying failed and will block your code from being merged. How to fix a forgotten signature. If you just made the commit and realize that you forgot the -s, don't panic. You can amend the last thing you did. Confirm you have only origin, connect to the official repo. Okay, let's do the what do we do? Mm, mm, I'm sharing. Oops, sorry about that. I'll have to start sharing. Hmm, do we need another tab? Yeah, let's open one. Get, okay, let me go to cd jaeger-ui and I do get remote -v. Origin is mine. Okay, that's what it says, right? your username jaeger.get. Okay, now what do I have to do? I have to click on these, or let me pull it up from here. Wait, isn't this Jaeger tracing jaeger.get? Don't I need uh don't I need the official one? Let me check. github.com github CLI. Wait, I want to add the Jaeger UI repo as upstream. Is this the correct command? Uh, Let me give it this as well. This is the clone link of Jaeger UI. Third command, huh? You want your upstream to point to the exact same project before, just the official version. If you are working on the UI, your upstream should point to the UI repository, not the main Jaeger backend repository. Okay. Since you are working with Jaeger UI, follow these steps. Verify the connection. Jaeger tracing UI is the backend main engine. Huh? I'm glad I noticed that. So that what is this? Get remote -v. I see upstream also set. Okay. Now I can proceed with these other steps. This is done. Get fetch upstream main. Permission denied public key. Oh, why? Should I give this entire thing? Oh my God. Use an SSL for the upstream repo, but you haven't set up the, because your origin is using HTTPS, it works fine, but your upstream is using SSH and GitHub doesn't recognize your computer's handshake. The easiest way to fix this issue without getting bogged down in complex security settings is to switch your upstream to use an HTTPS link instead. Verify the change. Now start with HTTPS. Ah, okay, HTTPS, and this is git@github.com. Okay. Uh, Get fetch upstream main. Get remote -v. Okay, now I do git fetch upstream main. Okay, it worked. Let's follow upstream main. Set up to track upstream main. Okay. I'm sorry, but I just need to read it again. To watch the official Jaeger so that this keeps track of all the main branch changes that is going in the official. What this does, whenever you type git pull in the future, your computer will now go straight to the official Jaeger repo to get the latest updates. Ensure your code is never out of date. Okay, okay. Git pull. Next stage of setting up your main branch. Now I have jaeger-ui. You know what? Where did I store this? pwd file folder. Oops. See, user was it? No, open source. No. jaeger-ui. Hold. The terminals went away. Oh my god. Or are they still there? Please. Oh my god, there are no more there. Why did I do that? Okay. Does this have? No. Why did I do that, man? Okay, anyway. I mean, we do need to document it. Not bad. We'll go to git. These commands are fine. Git fetch upstream name. Document this. Okay, what all do I need to document? Create a fork. Okay, I'll put this over here. I'm thinking of creating a readme.md where I document all the issues that I faced while trying to set this project up locally. So that's what document this means. Okay, now what? Now, uh, are you ready to? Yes. Let's code. Okay. Yes. Help me create a feature branch and how often do I run get pull? Should start every time you are about to start a new piece of work. Think of git pull as checking reviews. In a big project like Jaeger, other developers are adding code every day. Okay, before we proceed, let me see. Okay, there are still just a lot of ones with just one comment. I hope nobody has. Oh my God, someone's already worked on this. Oh, I wanted an issue, man. To do is this guy. Comment that references. Man, he has worked on all this shit, man. Feature, refactor, cause components to function components, refactor. Wait, what is this? Migrates graph component to functional component. Refactor, convert deep dependencies graph to. Okay, let's open this. Okay, only one file was changed. Oh, you're not going to read the code. That's fine. Go back. Okay, change was required in only one file. Oh my God, come on. Damn, people are so quick, man. God damn it. Oh, there are 106 issues. I think more issues have been opened up. Oh, no, it's still 2 days ago. My God, this. Who is this? Is it a male or a female? The female, damn. Meow, meow self. Oh, okay, to each their own, but damn. People are so quick. These major repos. Oh, I don't see a pull request for this. Let's see, let's see. Mentioned this, added a commit that references. Hmm. Does this mean is this issue still open because they have not linked a PR, added a commit that references this? Or have they taken care of this in another refactor dependency? Okay, I think they have taken care of this in another. Ah, my God. Okay, that's fine. As you know in the description of our channel, we are going to try and solve this issue. Let's just pick one issue and go through it and see if we can refactor it. Okay, I see a bunch of these. Please, man, someone or the other contributes this. Goddamn, bro. August 13, 2024. Help wanted 2 days ago. Okay, please, can I find one? Looks like we'll have to. Okay, let's pick the first issue and see. This issue is part of a larger effort to modernize the jaeger-ui code base. Parent issue this. What is this parent issue? Is this the mentorship one? Refactor class components to functional components. Okay. Still have a number of core components that are React class-based components. This prevents the use of hooks in them and US DX on them. I don't know what DX is. Refactor all possible components in jaeger-ui that are still class-based components, convert them to functional components whenever possible. Problem and motivation. Jaeger-ui that are still class-based. Okay, problem and this idea is also while moving to them, use hooks to abstract the functionality present in Redux and in data fetching. So in the near future, we can easily switch using the hooks to use other props provider. I don't know what any of that means. Okay, proposal and refactor. Um, should be done carefully and providing tests where they do not exist. The life cycle of the components should be preserved while watching out for edge cases and UX problems. Here is a list as of 6/2026. Okay, all these have to be list of complex or optional ones. So move those issues here from above. Could easily be changed if the refactor is not done carefully and giving attention to details. Acceptance and a heavy QA should be done. Okay. Okay. Effort to modernize. The goal is to refactor the virtualized trace view component, target component, virtualized trace view.tsx. Okay. Let's go here. Packages, jaeger-ui. What was it? src components trace page, src. Do I see a components? Components trace page, trace timeline viewer, virtualized trace view, trace page, trace timeline viewer. Oh my god. Trace timeline viewer. Where is virtualized pqrst, virtualized trace viewer.js dot tsx. Okay, this one. Okay, so this is where the change for this needs to be done. Okay, the component is converted to acceptance criteria. The component is converted to a functional component. Okay, this state is replaced with the use state or use reducer. Lifecycle methods. Component did mount, comma, etc. are replaced with use effect. If Redux is used, If Redux is used, the connect HOC is replaced with use selector and use dispatch hooks. Optional but preferred. Okay, we will do it. All existing prop type validations are preserved. Performance. If the original component was a pure component, the new one is wrapped in react.memo. I'm just reading these out. I'm not even understanding most of what that needs to be done because I just have a very basic understanding of React. I don't know what use selector does, what use dispatch does, what is use reducer, what is a pure component. I don't know what any of this is. Attach before and after screenshots to the PR to prove no visual regression. Existing unit tests must pass. If tests rely on enzyme, state, or instance, they must be refactored to check the DOM or props instead. Migration guide, common pitfalls. Be careful when using use effect. If you use a variable inside the effect that comes from props or state, it must be in the dependency array. If you omit it, the effect will use the old value. Oh, I know what a dependency array is. It's like a parameter that you pass to the use effect. Use effect takes two parameters. One is a function and other is a dependency array. So whatever you pass in the dependency array is somehow used in the use effect. Okay, testing with enzyme. Functional components do not have instances. A complete guide to use effect. Okay. Wow, this is like great. Linked up PR that will close this issue. Have they added the image in the PR? Okay, description of the changes. I have run lint. Missing coverage. Please review. Project coverage is 97. Okay. Need access to these internal functions, especially since you not testing the helper function. The component is just calling them. Mm, 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 mm. So resolved. Frowned upon in modern. Yes. Da, 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 da. Mm, 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 mm. They said to attach the screenshot, right? Where is the screenshot over here? My God, damn. Yesterday was an off in India. Okay, do I have anyone in the chat? Nobody in the chat. Great. Yesterday was an off in India, but damn, is this guy Indian? Ship up. He is Indian. Cool, cool, dude. Contributing guidelines. I have signed all commits. I have added unit tests for the new functionality. I have run lint and okay. Description. Wasn't one of the requirement to add a screenshot, but To refactor the virtualized components, target, where did I read screenshot? Oh man, not here. Attach before and after screenshots. I thought we could look at the screenshot and try to figure out where exactly this component is, but um, you know what? Let's just set this up. The first one, I need to plug my laptop in. Just give me a second. Okay, CD. Okay, I'm already in jaeger-ui. What was that? npm start was the command, and in the second terminal we had to run the Docker container. My Docker is open. Uh, Docker engine is running. That means so in the second terminal we run the this first command. What do you mean? Okay, Docker is running in the third terminal. What is this? Some issue with the UI? Oh, I don't know what that was. Clear. Oh, where is the hot rod? Hot rod, hot rod. No, I don't want to log in. Jaeger-tracing, hot rod. Ah, here I need to go to the Jaeger. So this would be cd dot slash Jaeger and then execute this. Should return some output, right? And this one we were using for our git clone stuff. Oh, what was that? Is it running? In a single binary. Wait, what? Okay, let's. Why is this asking again? Uh, I don't want it to go to public, but anyway, I'm not going to leave this. I will keep it private. In Windows allow an app through firewall. Change setting. Oh, it's opening an instance every time. Oh, that's strange. .exe. I'm keeping all of this private, and I think okay. Okay. Just to localhost 1686. Okay, jaeger-ui journey. Let's go and localhost for 127 and 686. Let's close this 5173 and service. Okay, I think I have to refresh. If I refresh, yeah, the system architecture comes. Search, last hour, find traces. Okay, we see traces. Okay, that's good. The hot rod application is running. That means now what do we have to do is figure out what this is doing, which page this actually is. Okay, let's do one thing. Go here, refactor class component. Was this the one which we were trying to? Oh man, this PR is merged? What was it? Commented last week. What these issues? 3 weeks ago. Okay. Oh, people have already started last month. Then why did the issue show up just recently, December 14th? Oh, that means I can take this up. Okay, wait. Uh, where was that? Getting started. What demo? Wait. Let's read that. Jaeger. Getting in touch. Getting involved, I think. Simple open issues. Good first issue. I think here only. Help wanted. There is a very high probability it is still relevant. Okay. Help wanted. Great. Only if it is very old, that is more than 2 years, it may long. Okay, it's not older than that is fine. Okay, one criteria is clicked. Help wanted is still there and it was published 2 days ago. What if someone is already working on the issue? Explicitly assigning the issues to anyone. Okay, it is always a good etiquette to verify if someone is already working on it. Check if there are any open PRs against the issue. See the next section. Okay, if the PR has recent changes within a week from the author is likely actively working on it. In this case, it is best to wait for the author to finish their work. Okay. If the most recent comments on the PR are from the maintainers recommending some changes and those comments are not addressed by the author for 2 weeks or more, the PR may have stalled. In this case, you can either tag the author in the PR and ask if they are still working on it or if they would like to hand it over to someone else. Okay, this might be applicable to us. Sometimes things fall through the cracks and the maintainers miss the recent changes on the PR. If these latest changes look good, are all green, but the maintainers have not yet reviewed them, it is good to ping the maintainers in the PR asking for a review. Even better if you can help with the review. Okay. I can even let's look at this issue. It's part of a larger effort. Okay. Uh, Linked to pull request that will close this 20 hours ago. So he's already working on it. He did do this 20 hours ago. And okay, this is the PR, right? What is this? This is the parent issue, I think. This is a parent issue. Yes, this is a parent issue. 20 hours ago. He's still working on it. And I think all the CI checks have passed. 11 successful checks. Okay, that's cool. That must be resolved. This needs a rebase. Okay. What do we do? Slash. Do we still go ahead? Okay. I mean, I'm going to do a uh, so you know how when you're reading books or reading textbooks as a child, you just turn the pages and see the number of pages left that you have to study, after which you can go and play. I'm going to do a coding version of that where I'm going to see the files change. So it's just two files have been changed. Um, the test file and the TSX file. So that means, I mean, we do know the file that needs to be changed resolves part of 2610. This is the main. Resolves UI refactor. It converted the virtualized component from a class component to a functional component. How is this tested? Unit test. Manually verified the UI to check if the component is working or not. Okay, we just have to make changes in two files, and how the hell now? How do I find out which component it actually is? Okay, let's just read the name. Trace timeline viewer. Virtualized.tsx. Type location history, export cons default heights, numticks, generate row states. Oh my god, this is going over my head. Let collapse depth equal to null. Mm, 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 mm. Get CSS classes, zoom start, merge child. And this is okay. What do I do? How do I figure out where this view is on the UI component? Virtualized trace view.tsx. Component will unmount. Can I use Copilot? Handle, get row states. You know what? Let me set up Copilot. I think they do have a free tier and take a little help, not too much help, just a little help from Copilot. I will stop sharing for a moment. Which was it? It was empty screen. Okay, here I come. Empty screen. Okay, I hope the empty screen is visible right now. And okay, that's cool. Now I'm trying to set up Copilot. Uh, okay. Was it just 2 clicks? Did I not have to enter some credentials or something? Ask Copilot. Make changes using AI suggested inline suggestions. Programming questions or get help with your code using at workspace. The at to see all available chat participants. So virtualize, okay, that setup was like pretty easy. I just had to click display capture. Yeah, I just had to click uh, here and set it up. Explain the open file. Assume I only know JS and don't know TS. Um, how do I find out where uh, where the UI is actually located? How do I find that out? And you don't have to assume. I only know JS, don't know TS. This is the truth, but you know what does AI know? Enable access to the latest Claude, Anthropic. Uh, okay, let's use Claude. Finding where the UI is located. Great question. Since you only know JavaScript, here's a simple guide to trace where the UI lives. Start with the entry point. The UI starts in the index.tsx. Do I see a index.tsx? Okay, I see a index.tsx. Root element equal to UI root ID. Okay, this finds an HTML element with Jaeger UI root in the DOM. Find the HTML element. On shift I follow the main app component. This app renders gray. Okay, see the routes slash page. App slash index.t. Am I in app slash? Oh, okay. Uh, Jaeger UI app. Okay, Jaeger UI app. Where is this? I don't know. See the routes page. Routes. In app index.txs, you'll find the routing that shows different pages. App index.tsx, you will find search path, search trace page. Key UI locations by feature. Trace timeline view, your current file. Trace timeline viewer. I think this is the one. Search page, trace page, common components. Each component folder has each component folder has common component. Okay, okay. App trace page. Okay. Is in the components folder. The UI I'm looking for is in the components folder. Of course, it's in the components folder. I mean, on the actual UI. Bro, what? Let me close this. Uh, uh, okay, open editors. I want to find it on the actual Jaeger UI. Okay, wait. Backtrack. Okay. I think this has given us enough information, but we just don't know. Do I have anyone in the chat? No. Okay. This has given us enough information, but uh, okay, I just have 10 minutes more. I have a hard stop at 11:40, but what we have to do is where I'm just going to like read this once again, and by the in the next 10 minutes we have to like increase the height or the width or the text color or something in the UI and try to figure out yeah, do it the hard way. Am I audible or okay, my mic is unmuted. Okay. Is there any other index.tsx? That is my question. There is index.tsx here as well. URL. There are multiple index.tsx. Which index.tsx is it talking about? Index.tsx. UI root ID Jaeger index.tsx. And let me find UI. There are zero results. Come on, that means this is not the right index. Where was it? It was app index.tsx, right? App index.tsx. In this, I'll find UI. Jaeger UI app. There's only one. Jaeger API dot API root, default API root. Import Jaeger API. Okay, import. It's importing the API. Document dot get element ID. UI root. Where is this? Which index.tsx is this? Oh, there is a. Oh, this is like the entry point. Okay. There are multiple index.tsx within this, but okay. The index.tsx and command F UI underscore root ID. Okay. Root element. Okay. This finds an HTML element with ID jaeger-ui root in the DOM. Okay. Okay, I think we have to go here. If I inspect, I think it was elements. And how do I search for an element? Mm, mm, mm. Jaeger-ui root. So this. Can I find? Um, how do I find this? Come back. Can I command F over here? Find by string selector or path. Okay, find the HTML file. The HTML file is at index.html. Okay, where is the HTML? Okay, whatever. Let me go to this one. Okay, index.html. This is where React renders the entire app. Follow the main app component from index.tsx. Is it already open? Yes. Follow the main app component. Command C, Command F, Command V. Export deploy function. Okay. Theme response by the provider store. Okay, these are the routes. jaeger-ui app. This is imported from the index.tsx. This is your main application wrapper. Okay. See the route slash pages in app slash index.tsx. You will find the routing that shows the different pages. Yep, I see the routing. Trace, search path, trace path. Key UI locations by this feature. Trace difference path. And what was the trace page? Trace timeline viewer and virtualized trace. Trace different path, trace view. Is there a trace view? Key UI locations. Search trace page, and trace page is trace page. Common components, common. Each component file has, these are React components. I need to brush up on my React. I don't know. Okay, under components, there is a app component. There is a trace page component. Okay. I really need to brush up on my React. We'll do that also on stream, but for now, quick tips. Files, TypeScript plus React. Think of it as a fancy JavaScript plus HTML, CSS files. Look for export default. That's usually the main component. Follow imports. If a file says import X from, go check the file Y. So, virtualized trace viewer. Okay, here, what are we importing? Import everything from React, connect, group by, import list view. We are just span detail row, import from utils, scroll manager. Okay, import virtualized trace view.css. I'm still facing an issue. What is trace view? Okay, wait, is this trace view? and class. If I close this, how do I open this back again? The CSS one. I close this. Oh, what did I do? I close the whole one on whole thing. Okay, I don't think I can close this. Oh, or maybe was this the button? No, that was not the button. Let me just minimize this. Choose this button and how do I? There was oh, unordered list. Trace view. What is the trace view? Okay, wait. Let me close this. Trace view. This is the search. Compare, upload, system architecture, monitor. I don't know what the trace view is. Oh my god. Um, okay, let's do one thing. Close this. Oops. Come on. If I do this, should it close back up? Okay. Okay, I think this is the trace view. Okay. Because I see slash trace and in this trace view, okay, what is that trace page? Virtualized trace view dot tsx. Okay. What is it? Let me close and listener mandef virtual virtualized trace view spans. So there is a way to edit this, right? Let's just make this 100. Okay, what changed? And let's make this. Oh, I think I found it. I think I found it. Virtualized trace view spans. Yes, I found it. Okay. What was this? This was 38, I think. Let's put it back to 38 and go to the second instance, virtualized trace view spans. Oh my god, this whole thing is thing. Div style, virtualized trace view spans. I did find this out. So what is this? This view. What was it pointing at? Okay, now we know where it is. It's this. It's this. It's this. Okay, we figured this out. Trace page. Okay. Okay. Now we have to. Oh my God. 2610. I think this is the one. Converted to a functional component. Components, trace page, trace view. This dot state is replaced with use state or use reducer. Okay, command F, this dot state. Virtualized trace view dot tsx, where what is the class based component that is being used? Okay, let this generate. Meanwhile, I'll copy this whole thing. And these people are like so quick. They've already resolved it. Should I ask Gemini? Okay, let me ask ChatGPT. A new chat. I want to contribute to Uyghur, but don't know React. Explain the above requirement and teach me a little bit of React. Okay, we are 3 minutes over the time. Let's read this chat response. The class-based component being used is virtualized trace view. Export class, okay, which extends React component virtualization trace view props. Export class, okay, key features, type parameter. Defines all props this components accepts. Okay, what is a component? What is a prop? List view stores reference to the list view component. Okay, handles mounting, updating, unmounting, and rendering logic. Okay, export class view. How many lines of code? Oh my god, 300 plus lines of code has to be changed. Oh my god. This is a smart container component that manages trace timeline visualization and connect to Redux for state management. I don't know what a state is. I don't know what a prop is. I don't know what a component is. Or I know them, but I don't, not enough to. And this is actually a very beginner-friendly way to start contributing to Jaeger. I'll break this down into plain English, then teach you just enough React to understand and complete this task. What is the issue asking you to do? High level. Written in React plus TypeScript. Okay, we'll just read this once and we will stop. After that, maybe I'll come on. I'll start a stream later in the day and we'll actually do some basic hands-on React and some parts. um, and yeah, go from there. Okay, I'm rambling. Some parts of the UI were written years ago using class-based React components. The project is now modernizing the code base by converting into functional components using hooks. Your task is to convert one component, virtualized trace view, from old style React to modern React. Why does Jaeger want this change? Because modern React is simpler, easier to test, has better performance, is what most contributors expect today. So this is a cleanup React basics class of what is a React component? It's just a function that returns a UI. Okay. Div hello world. Okay. Hmm. Class style components. What you'll see now. Class extends some class and did mount console.log mounted render on click this dot set state. Lots of boilerplate. This everywhere. Harder to reason about. Okay. Ask to explain this. Okay. Uh, New style functional component. Mm, const count react.use state react.use event console.log mounted return button dot on click class based component here count this dot set state this dot state dot count this is a class and this is a instance of a class I'm assuming um, okay but here react dot use effect console dot log cleaner no this easier to read now let's decode the acceptance criteria line by line. Okay, it's explaining the code. Okay. With or const personalized trace view react this dot state to use state or use reducer old const view range the simple state. What is a state? What is a prop? It is a state uh, prop lifecycle methods, old class methods. Okay, new hook replacement. Okay, this is the last question. I swear this is the last question. New hook replacement use effect. What is a hook? What is a hook? Dependency array. So I dependency array is like a parameter, but let's ask this dependency array. What is Redux? Redux modern Redux style export default data is equal to use selector prop types virtualized performance pure component react dot memo then wrap the new function this prevents unnecessary re-renders visual verification you must provide UI that looks same before and after open jaeger-ui take screenshot before no design change allowed test must pass okay beginner friendly don't code yet, just identify stake, props, create a skeleton function component, replace the class with a function that just returns JSX, migrate state, use state one variable at a time, migrate lifecycle. Okay, we'll come back to this query. Let us see what it answers. Ideas of React, and once you understand them, the Jaeger task will make much more sense. I'll explain slowly, simply, and where React now is state. Is component's own memory. State is data that belongs to a component, can change over time, causes the UI to re-render when it changes. Okay. A button that counts clicks. Const count comma set count equal to use state. Set count is a function. Okay, set count we have to write it. And then button dot on click send count plus one. This is a arrow function and it's called set count. Count plus one clicked count times. Okay, state is like a component's memory. Component is a unit of React code. So what is a component? I yeah, this project is now React functional components. Okay, wait. What is a React component? Functions that return HTML. Okay. Functions that return HTML. Okay. And a component's own data is what a state is. A state is a component's data. State is a component's data. Okay, a button that counts. Do I have any viewers? Nope. Current value button. When set count is called, state changes. Hmm. React re-renders the component, UI updates automatically. Think of it like state is variables that React watches. Okay. React will not track this. Changing this won't update the UI. Okay. What are props? Data passed from parent to child. Props are read only, passed from one component to another, like function arguments. Okay. Function arguments. Function greeting name. Return hello name. Greeting name equal to Jaeger. Okay, name is a prop. Greeting cannot change name. Okay, this name is read only. Okay. State belongs to the component. Props come from outside. Okay, state belongs to the component. Props come from outside. Parent-child relationship. Parent, child color red. Function child. Color is the prop. Return div style color. What will this do? Will this return red in red color? This will return red in red color is what uh, I'm assuming. What is a hook? Special React function that adds features to function components. Before, only class components had state, lifecycle, etc. After hooks, function can do everything classes can. Common hooks you'll see in Jaeger: use state, store state, use effect, runs side effects, use reference, holds mutable values, use context, read con. Okay. Okay, what is a state? What is a component? It is a React function that returns HTML. What is a state? State is um, the memory for a component. Basically, some value that you want your component to render, and whenever state changes, the UI re-renders. That is a state. And what is a prop? A prop is a like a parameter passed to a component from one component to another. Props are read only. Okay. What is a hook? Hook is like React functions. They do different things. That's all I understood. My attention span is waning. Only call hooks at example hook use state 0. Rules of hooks. Only call hooks at top level. Only call hooks inside React components. Okay, wrong. If X use state. Okay. What is dependency array? This is the most confusing part for beginners. Okay. It belongs to use effect value. Okay, what does it mean? Once on mount, when A changes, when A or B changes, no array, every render. If you pass empty, when a specific value changes, you render. When a specific variable or multiple variables changes, you render. If you pass no array on every render. Okay. Why does this exist? Because functions rerun on every render. React needs to know when I should rerun this side effect. Okay, because computation and you would not want to, re-render and it might take up a lot of your memory or whatever. Fetch data when trace ID changes. State closure problem, very important. Effect runs once, uses old trace ID. What is Redux? Global State Manager. Use many components need the same data. Data is complex or shared, like traces or user info. Okay, think of Redux like a central data store for the whole app. Okay, parent, child, grandchild needs data. You must pass props through every level. Okay, when Redux is with Redux store, every component will ask directly Redux. Okay, any component can access data directly. Core concepts, the single source of truth. Trace user action, plain object describing. Okay, I'll read this later. I don't have time. Yeah, in the next stream we'll again try to understand these React concepts more and then start. Man, every time we make some progress, it's like we take a few steps back because I did not have this much knowledge, or maybe I was lying that I knew stuff. Uh, I knew the basics, components. I didn't know what a prop was. I mean, at least I did know, but okay, whatever. Okay, see you guys in the next stream. Um, bye.